What is happening, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ty with the GoPro strapped to my head, and who's ready for a test drive in a 2026 Corvette? Before we go on our test drive, I'm going to do a super quick walk around. Now, if you want a full in-depth features review of every single little button, open every door, you can definitely see that as I did a full features review on this very car on my channel Ty Drive, so make sure you check out that. But let's just take a look at some of the, open up some of the doors, like the front trunk here. Where we can see there's a good amount of space. And for 2026, the Corvette gets a nice little update. The exterior is pretty much the same with the exception of a couple new colors, which, by the way, we're looking at Arctic White. But the real changes are on the inside, so bear with me, we'll get in there in just a moment. But 19-inch black wheels in the front, 20s in the rear, 245, 35 up front with those nice red brake calipers poking out, and 305 section tires in the rear, so nice wide tires. This one happens to be a convertible in the 2LT trim, so a very nicely optioned out one with some red accents, the red stripes, and this is obviously with the convertible top down. Now, as I said in my features review video, the only downside of having the convertible is that you really don't get a clear view into the engine bay. But in return, you get a nice open top driving experience. Second trunk, big enough for a golf bag, or maybe 3 or maybe even 4 or more of my camera bags. So nice and roomy in both of the trunks, and beautiful metallic on those vinyl stripes. This has a Z51 package, which means we have that dual mode performance exhaust. If you want to listen to that dual mode performance exhaust, check out the full features review, as well as we did a nice little exhaust test on this car. We've got lots of ventilation back here on the top and in the kind of midsection and down low to let all the heat extraction take place. We have big intakes at the side and some bigger intercoolers at the front as well. But what do you say we find our pad here to get in the inside? 14 speaker Bose audio system on the 2LT and above, which sounds great. We've got memory for the driver's seat. We also have the convertible button over here, power folding mirrors, blind spot warning. It's got the cameras in the front as well as in the rear for extra visibility. The 2LT is in my opinion, kind of the sweet spot in the Corvette line. This also is optioned with the dual tone GT2 bucket seat. So we have some carbon fiber poking out and the black in the middle, red on the sides, and fully powered with 4-way lumbar. Nice looking interior, and once you get inside, you could really see this car's new interior shape. Now let's fire it up. You get a nice little hint of that exhaust sound. And let's put the convertible top up. Get a nice little noise of the engine. Just make sure your hat isn't too tall like mine is, or else it might hit you in the face. But yes, nice new interior. Let me adjust this camera and we'll take a look. Yeah, now that we're in widescreen display, we can see a nice new interior setup with 1, 2, 3 new screens. This one you kind of play around with some performance displays. You can see some temperatures, G-force meters, etc. You can also adjust the appearance of that screen in front of you, which has new visuals from there. And we can also see some new programming to this screen as well. We have the kind of Google navigation, very heavily Google-based system. Heated and cooled seats controls are all through here, and my favorite, the performance screen. Down here looks a little bit different too, where you have a different cup holder set up, 2 wireless charging pads in this vehicle. You kind of lift this up and place your phone in, but different climate controls too. Before they were kind of on this wall of buttons, but now they're in sort of a more normal place. You still have all the goodies on the steering wheel too, so like your cruise control, heated steering wheel, you know, audio adjustments, and also the all-important Z mode button. What do you say we fasten our seat belts here, put it down into drive, and see what the Corvette is like to drive? So here we are driving the Corvette, and I've been driving it around for just a few minutes here to get it on this nice back road. And I've been really enjoying seeing this kind of current horsepower and torque. It's kind of like a real-time dynamometer. It's pretty darn cool. But what we're going to do is we're going to put this down into sport mode here. We don't really need track modes, we're not on the track, but we are going to do a nice acceleration. Bearing in mind that this car, you know, has, you know, not been broken in yet, and tires are not warm, but we're still going to do a little bit of an acceleration here to see what it feels like. I'll put the transmission into manual mode, and let's see here. We'll take second gear, and here we go. And just like I thought, struggling for a little bit of grip there, but it does really put down the power pretty well with the 305 tires in the rear. 6.2 liter V8, you gotta love that good old small black V8. 495 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque, thanks to a 5 horsepower and 5 pound-feet of torque bump on that Z51 performance package. We're all hooked up to an 8-speed dual clutch, extremely fast shifting transmission, and obviously rear wheel drive. Okay, now that we're on some more normal driving scenarios here, now really, you know, the reason why I like to show everybody these normal roads and normal driving is because, you know, 75, maybe even 90% of the time, you know, this is how you're going to be driving the Corvette. Maybe on a back road or going to the beach or something like that. You know, most people I know at least don't track their Corvettes constantly. So again, this is very important to most people. Now, another very important factor is I don't have access to a racetrack, and this is obviously a brand new vehicle that my local Chevrolet dealership has on the lot. You know, obviously I don't have access to a you know, a racetrack or a drag strip or anything like that. I do get a lot of comments saying, hey, this is, you know, not what the Corvette or you know, performance cars are meant for. But, you know, that's the simple answer. For one, don't have means to a racetrack or anything. And for two, you know, 75, even to 90% of the time, this is how you're going to be driving the car like this. Now, I did want to point out too that this has the magnetic ride control, which is really awesome. It adjusts the way the car drives pretty drastically. So we're still in our sport mode. I'm going to move it up to tour, and that immediately relaxes the steering, the throttle response, and especially the suspension. Suspension is now nice and light and cushy. It's, well, I can't necessarily say cushy, but it is very, very relaxed for the type of vehicle that we're in. And you know, I know some people who do daily drive Corvettes, and I would say, you know, with this new C8, it's got tons of storage space both in the front and in the back. I would say it's totally doable. You know, the suspension really, you know, definitely doesn't beat you up. The seats are very comfortable and adjustable. They're very supportive. They're you know, a good position for myself. I'm 5'10", and I weigh just about 185, 190 pounds. Gotta shed some of that weight, but hey, it works for my body type. But just driving it around, you might notice in tour and even sport mode that the cylinder deactivation will be activated. So you can see there's a little green V4 icon, which tells you it's deactivated 4 of its cylinders in the engine. It improves a little bit of fuel economy, not so fun for performance, but if you ever wanted to floor it, like so, the cylinder deactivation is immediately gone. the 8-speed dual clutch does its job, and away you go. So it's really not a huge bother other than the noise part of it, because it does close up the exhaust valves when you're in 4-cylinder mode. I'll never forget the time that I drove a C8 Corvette for the first time. It was really just when they were starting to come out back in, I think, the late part of 2019 is when they were coming out. And I had access to drive one and review one, and it was just the coolest thing. I mean, nobody had ever seen a mid-engine Corvette before. Nobody really drove one before, and it was just this really cool thing that you know, only seen in pictures. You've been hearing about it for years, and actually getting to drive it was a really special moment when these first came out. So if you want to get a little nostalgic, you know, just about 6 years ago, I did a video on one of these when they first came out. So definitely check my channel for that. But my point today is it's almost equally as special driving this car today, you know, 6 years ago after they came out. It's truthfully just a special car. And you see these, you know, everywhere. You see them out driving around, you know, people are daily driving them, whatever. So you see them everywhere, but every time I get into these, it's just kind of a wow factor, you know. It's wow, the engine's in back of me instead of in front of me. Wow, look at, you know, the layout of the interior. It truly does feel like an exotic experience driving this car. And these Corvettes really are, you know, kind of the full package. It's super easy to maintain. That engine will last you a lifetime. It's just a, you know, very easy to live with sports car, borderline supercar, to be honest with you. Now that we're up at almost highway speeds, you know, 45, 50 miles an hour, you do get a little bit of, you know, tire noise, but you have to keep in mind, you know, Corvette, you want to keep the weight down, you know, for the occasional time that you bring it to the track. You want to keep that weight down, and you also need some big tires to put this power to the ground, both in the rear and in the front. So, you know, big tires in the front and the rear, staggered setup, and we also have electronic limited slip differential in the rear, which makes for some nice cornering, and it's a very balanced car. The steering wheel weight is nice. It's pretty light in the touring mode, but the ratio is very quick, as you can see, just barely turning the steering wheel, and we're pointing in the right direction immediately. But very good feeling, you know, steering wheel in the hands. I wish there was a little bit more, you know, grip bolsters, maybe just up here, but you know, it does feel very good in the hands, especially this one with the suede steering wheel option. So very nice. Just for the next few moments here, I'm going to close my mouth for once, and we'll let you listen. Brakes feel good too. 4-piston calipers in the front and the rear, so we have very good stopping power on the Corvette, and really, you know, this being the Stingray is just where the Corvette lineup starts. This is the least powerful of all the Corvettes. It's also the least amount of braking you can get from Corvettes. It's the skinniest Corvette, meaning, you know, the Z06, ZR1, they both have an E-Ray, they both have a wider stance. So this is just the beginning of the Corvette lineup. It's really amazing to think about that. And that pretty much does it for the test drive on the 2026 Corvette Stingray, convertible of course. If you're interested to see all the features review and get a listen on the outside of that V8, of course, click the little icon that's popping up in your corner of the screen there. But again, thank you very much for watching these videos, and I hope to catch you next time on future videos.